Hey guys, I thought I'd just share a couple Excel tricks I have for you. Um, so if you are an Excel file here and you say you want to copy some line, um, maybe I want this row somewhere else. If you press Shift Space, that'll select the whole row. It's the same thing as just clicking here, but maybe you're just on some cell or maybe a group of cells and you want to select the whole row. Shift Space will do that. Um, so we'll just select this row. And then if you hold down Control and Shift and just drag, that'll make a copy for you wherever you want to insert it. So say I want that same line just copied right here. Then when I let go, it'll make a copy of that one. Just be careful with your references up here because you might want to make sure the formula's right if you've moved things around. So that's how you can copy one. Alternatively, maybe you want to put this one here just somewhere else. You can just hold down Shift and move it to where you want it. That doesn't copy it. Control Shift copies it, and Shift, when you drag it, moves it. Just again, be careful with these references because it might not be as you would expect sometimes when you move those around, and there's a formula here. Another cool thing is just maybe you want to delete some rows. Obviously, you could click on the row, right click, click delete. Alternatively, you could just press Control minus on your keyboard. So let's say I want to get rid of all these rows. I'll press Shift Space just to select them, which is the same again as doing that. And then if you press Control minus on your keyboard, that'll delete them out entirely. So that's deleting. Another thing you might want to do is see how these are all grouped, so I can collapse these like that. Maybe you were maybe you had a couple of these say that weren't grouped. So see how I ungrouped these here. So if I collapse this, they're lingering outside that group. If you select a group of rows and hold down Shift and Alt, and then the left arrow key ungroups them, and the right arrow key will group them again. So again, if I see that little plus sign on the left over there, the minus sign, it's going and coming back when I hold down Shift, Alt, and then left arrow or right arrow to group it, so you can just collapse it and open it like that. And if you don't like, sometimes these plus signs show like the row below, you can adjust that. So if you click on this button right here, this will influence, if those plus signs are offset from your groups, you might want to uncheck that so that they're in line with the group. Another really cool trick is maybe you've got something, maybe there's something you want to find and delete all throughout here. So maybe you've got anywhere where you have, let's just say blank cells. So let's say you had blank cells here and you want to delete all of those. We'll say the whole row is maybe gone. There's no values here, and you want to delete any of these places with empty spaces, like this one, this row, this row, this row. What you can do is you can select those and then go to Find, go to Special, Find Blanks. So see how it selected all those blanks? Now you can go to this drop down under Delete and click Delete Sheet Rows, and you'll notice in a second here 20, 24, 27, 31, 35, those rows are just going to be entirely gone. So now those are all gone. Okay, so let's say I want to find all of some part and delete them from this entire spreadsheet. So say I want to find all of the Win3050s, for example. So if I'll limit my selection to this column, and I'll say find all, and this will show all the places those windows exist. So I'll hold down Shift to select all these, and then I can go to Delete Sheet Rows, and now every place that had a Win3050 in here, oops, should be gone because we deleted all those rows that match that. Um, Another thing you can do is maybe you wanted to put 1 or maybe some number all the way down here. Obviously, you could just fill down, but another thing you can do is just type in whatever you want. Let's say it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you press Control Enter, that'll make it so that whatever you typed in the first cell goes to every cell. So just a handy formula. I won't really cover many formulas here, but this one seems a little less known. If you want to concatenate two things together, so that just means like put two cells together or more things together. Like say that you have, maybe you have something in this cell called test, and then this says blah, and you wanted to put this here, this, and then if you click that cell and put the ampersand, and then the next cell, that'll combine those together. So now they're all just merged together. If I put a space in here, so anything in quotes, space, so quote, space, quote, and then something like that. You could tack something on the end there. And 2 or something, dash 2. Just let you concatenate things together. Sometimes that's really handy if you're doing like SQL and you want to do something like, say you had some, I don't know, row IDs here or something, like, just say you have some names, Jeff, Max, Todd, and you wanted to have some, you had some table, you want to say insert into names, then first name, and then you could like concatenate that with this, and then close it. Something like that. That's sloppy, but you could do something like that. Just only do SQL if you absolutely know what you're doing. So that's concatenating. Another trick here is if you have, sometimes you have a formula up here, and you don't want the formula, you would just want the actual text that would be in that cell. So like Arlington stick here. If we click inside there and you press the F9 key on your keyboard, it'll convert whatever the formula was to a value. Another handy trick is maybe the format painter. So a lot of you guys know about the format painter. So for example, if these all looked like this and we wanted it to look like this here, you could click Format Paint and it would paint whatever you click with that same formatting. But the problem with that is you can't like click on the other ones. It loses it after the first click. So if you double click this, it locks it. So then you can just a la carte, click, 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 and you won't lose your format painting. Another trick here is maybe you change some value. Maybe you change this to 10, and you want to comment on there. So people know what you changed. If you click Insert Comment, if you press Control Shift colon, it puts the time. I should have put the date first. So if you press Control colon, it puts the date, and Control Shift colon puts the time, and then you can put, I changed this to 8 on, or 8 because of such and such. That's comments. Sometimes you have formatting. Put this back. Sometimes you might have some things highlighted here, like we need to look at that. There's some different stuff going on here. So then when you fill down, let's say that you want to keep the same activity for all these, and you drag down. Well, you lose the colors that you had there. It's kind of annoying. So what you can do after you fill down is there's this little button here. If you click this, click Fill Without Formatting. That'll keep all the colors for you. Let's see. Something else you can do is, I use these filters a lot, so maybe you want to filter for all the parts that are, I don't know, floor 1, 924 stud. Okay, so let's say that I'm on this part, and I clear this filter. So I'm on row 124. If I clear this filter, it brings me up top, and now I'm, not where I want to be. So if you press the left arrow key or the right arrow key on your keyboard, it'll just take you back to that selection. Assuming you had clicked that cell before you cleared the filter, it'll jump you back down to where you were. A cool tool I like to use called ASAP Utilities. It's just something I found online. If you Google ASAP Utilities, you can install it. It's not free, but it's helpful. It's like 50 bucks. So let's say you wanted to change all these things to lowercase. You could do a formula like equals lower, and then you could click on that cell, and that's fine. But that's just kind of annoying because then you have to copy these back in to that spot over there. So a better way, I think, is with this ASAP Utilities. You can just highlight them, go to text, change to lowercase, and then that'll change all these to lowercase. You can likewise do the same thing for uppercase, camel case. There's all different things you can do. Or maybe let's say that we didn't have this LTG at the beginning. I was just going to do a quick, easy way to get rid of that is to replace LTG with nothing. And then let's say I didn't have that LTG and I wanted to add that here. You can go with ASAP Utilities, insert before or after. I'll just clear what's in here. Put LTG dash, shows you a preview of what it's going to do. Click OK, and then that'll add it to all those cells. It's handy. You could do it with the formula, with that concatenation formula. We could have done something like equals LTG dash ampersand, and then this here, and then you could fill that down and copy paste special over here. It's just annoying to do that, so I don't. Lastly, just a handy setting that you can set on your options. If you go to the save spot here, you can change your default save location. So I like to set this when I'm at work to my R drive, which is like my upload data folder. That way, every time I click File Open or File Save, I don't have to go locate the drive. It's just there all the time. So that's handy. You can do other things in here, like turn off the welcome screen. I don't like that welcome screen to start when you open Excel. Obviously, customize things up here so that you can just quickly click open and other things. But I won't go into all those. So that's all I got. I hope you guys found this helpful. I just want to share some of the tips and tricks I came across. And then if you guys have any comments, really any tips for us, just post those in the comments so we can all kind of learn together as a community. Thanks.